Seeing none, let's move to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion on this, please?
Resolved that the Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby takes the following action on the listed consent agenda items. A, approves payment of the bills as presented and listed in section Roman numeral 7A of the October 14, 2014 Board Agenda Packet. B, approves minutes from the meetings held on September 9 and 23, 2014, open and closed, as presented and amended in the October 14, 2014 Board Agenda Packet.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ed Jepson. All right, let's start with minutes first. Any questions on that? Seeing none, let's move on to payment of bills.
3 questions were submitted. Tim?
Yeah, the first question was on page 19. There was a payment to the Laidlaw Transit, and that included a bill for bus evacuation drills. Every year, by state mandate, we have to have all of our classes go through a bus evacuation drill. We bring out 2 buses from Laidlaw for a student. They're here for the day, and then all of the classes go out there one at a time and learn what to do if they need to evacuate the buses. On page 24, there was a question regarding a payment to a vendor for out-of-district tuition, and the question was how the schools are chosen. When students are going to go to an out-of-district school, the director of special education chooses the schools that would meet the particular student needs, and then contacts those schools to see if they are willing to accept the student or not. The schools that are willing to accept the student, the parents and the student go to visit, and then after that, in the IEP meeting, in consultation with the parents and the teachers, and that they choose the school that the student is going to attend. So I don't know if that
So I'm
answers the
not
question.
trying to obviously delve into private information, whether we talk about it in closed session or not, but the only thing I'm noticing is we seem to have a lot more in different schools, and I don't know if they're close, far, whatever, but I just like to understand, I understand that's how you do it, but, is there economics able to
Yes.
be weighed into it, or, why don't we have, I realize students could have needs across the gamut, but there's
Right.
probably some similar needs, and we don't seem to be we don't send, I don't know, maybe there's a school that specializes in physical handicap. We don't seem to be sending several students to the same. We seem to be sending students to
We
all
try
different
to,
schools.
when we have students with similar disabilities, we try to send them to the same schools. The issue is that no IEP is necessarily the same.
Right.
And so the parents and the IEP team are involved, and the parents do have an option or some part in that process that if they don't like the feel when they go to visit the school, or they don't like the teachers. So we have dealt with a couple cases this year where parents have had issues with their outplaced students, and now they're selecting other schools, and we have a fiduciary responsibility to find them that successful placement where their student can be successful for their disability. So if the event came up that we said, no, this is a good placement for it, and the parent has issues with that, a lot of times we'll go through a due process or a type of appeal process to where then the parent can select another school.
Well, the other thing is, having been through this, a lot of the schools will tell you, we don't want your kid, or we don't think we can help your kid.
Okay.
So, having recently been through it, we had one choice.
Let me just make an analogy, and again, I don't have any knowledge in this area really, so that's why, we increased our budget, almost doubled it this year. It's $1 million, and again, I'm not questioning providing services to students that need them, but I know you can't bid it out like we're comparing
Right.
contract
Right.
managers right now. I'm not suggesting that, but what I'm trying to understand is, going through the college search, which with my son, and we've all done it, is like, he could get a computer degree at, Eastern Illinois, Chicago State, Northwestern, a university called UIC, and of course, he went out to Northwestern, he loved the campus, and I'm just trying to get a feel, how much control do we have to say, well,
Not as
we
much
all
as.
love Northwestern, but,
Right.
you know,
So-
we'd rather go to UIC because it's just more economical. and
Not
the
as much
degree's
as-
gonna be the same.
Not as much as with this as you would with the example you gave.
Okay.
The other thing is that one thing we are trying to work on, and this is something as we continue to work with our articulation, is working with our feeder schools. A lot of times what happens is you get 7th and 8th grade students, or 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students, where maybe the elementary or the junior high IEP team determined that the student needs to be outplaced. One thing we try to work hard with the feeder schools and at the annual review, and Gail does a good job with this, is trying to get those incoming freshmen to come to RB where we have a lot of resources, and try to get them to try it at RB with an aide or with a different setup to see if they can be successful here first. So one thing we worked on this year was I think we were able to bring back 3 or 4 students to RB who were formally placed.
Okay.
And they're having more success here, and we were able to use some of those dollars to build a program within RB's walls to help those students instead of sending them outplaced. So,
Okay, I appreciate the explanation.
third question, Tim?
Third question was on page 25. There was a payment to Riverside Brookfield High School. This says unreconciled interest. And this is some items that go back a number of years. We've been working the interest account is set up to be at $60,000. And when we make payments out of that, we reimburse it. And in the past, some of those reimbursements have been made. So this is just a reconciliation of that account. And it really is kind of like taking money out of one pocket and putting it in the other.
Thank you.
Any other questions on bills?
No.
Any other one? All right, Marianne?
Mr. Grisham?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska? Yes. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Dr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Sidney?
Yes.